Hello, my name is Brittany Singh, and today I'll be presenting my project on plant-based diets and type 2 diabetes. The primary intent of my project was to understand the effects of a plant-based diet and its relation to blood sugar in type 2 diabetics. Peer-reviewed evidence-based literature studies that had a strict inclusion and exclusion criteria were the primary sources for the study. Stepping away from the medical perspective, this study transitioned to factors that influence the self-management of type 2 diabetes among diverse communities and how plant-based diets can impact, promote healthy living, and support these individuals suffering from this chronic condition. Now, why does this all matter? Diabetes is a rising problem. 34.2 million people in the United States alone have diabetes, and 7.3 million are underdiagnosed. Diabetes can cause a variety of complications such as the heart, kidney failure, vision loss, amputations, and even death. Diabetes was a top 10 leading cause of death in 2017. This leads me to my PICOT question, population focusing on adults diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. With the intervention of plant-based diet, comparing it to a non-plant-based diet, its overall outcome, hemoglobin A1C levels, this helps determine how well the diabetic is doing in managing this chronic condition. And with a time frame of 6 months. The evidence that supported my PICOT question consisted of a compilation of in-depth research through systematic reviews, meta-analyses, and randomized clinical trials. To accommodate the social demographic, social economic, and cultural aspects, the studies included both genders, age above 18 years old, different ethnic backgrounds, geographic areas, and economic status. Throughout all of the trials and research that were synthesized and analyzed, the majority suggested that a plant-based diet had a heightened impact on decreasing hemoglobin A1C levels, as well as managing and progression of the insulin resistance in type 2 diabetics compared to other diets. Now, there were other studies that had said low-carb diets and Mediterranean diets had lowered hemoglobin A1C levels, but they did not help with the insulin resistance portion. As a registered nurse and a future advanced practice nurse, it is my job to implement and educate all of my patients on what type of diet will help manage their health conditions and prevent unwanted complications. Educational differences can affect everyone. Misunderstanding and/or misinterpretation of information due to language barriers from healthcare professionals can further complicate the educational and self-management process of type 2 diabetes. Therefore, it is imperative that I utilize my resources when educating my patients in choosing healthier and balanced plant-based foods as opposed to the unhealthy ones. According to the American Diabetes Association, they have updated their guidelines that include a variety of clinical recommendations that show examples of healthy plant-based diet menus, foods, and eating patterns. Now, stepping away from the medical perspective, let's look at the type 2 diabetic patients themselves. Through qualitative meta-syntheses, common themes of culture, social demographic, and social economic conditions were thoroughly discussed in various studies based on Hispanic, African Americans, and Asian participants. In the United States, the rates of diagnosed type 2 diabetes in minorities within a predominantly white population are as follows. 12.5% are Hispanics, 11.7% are non-Hispanic blacks, and 9.2% are Asian Americans. With culture, the food eaten and when and how it's consumed is many times representative of that specific culture. Suggesting food that is provided by a Western diet can be difficult for minority populations because, for many, the Western diet was incompatible with the ethnic meals. As you can see above, the Hispanic cuisine with its maíz, its beans, its cheese, its tacos, quesadillas, Southern cuisine, its soul food, its fried chicken, and Asian cuisine, its dim sum, and its rice. Understanding the cultural significance of food, incorporating plant-based alternative options have improved in culturally tailoring to the ethnic style meals. For example, a Hispanic adding cilantro, quinoa, Southern with its sweet potatoes, collard greens, coleslaw, grilled chicken instead of the fried chicken, and Asian with its green vegetables and udon noodles. Grocery stores have been improving in incorporating plant-based foods, ingredients, and meals for their customers. However, having a chronic condition such as type 2 diabetes, it can cause a strain in eating plant-based diet or even purchasing plant-based foods due to the high cost of medications and overall economic status. However, there are other options that make plant-based foods accessible to everyone, especially for those who are struggling economically, such as community gardens, farmers markets, and meal prep delivery systems, as you can see above. Plant-based diets can even be followed by a family who's on a budget, as fast food restaurants such as KFC with its plant-based chicken nuggets, McDonald's with its plant-based hamburger, and Chipotle with its plant-based chorizo have now incorporated plant-based meals into their menus, which are affordable. In conclusion, the adoption of a plant-based diet or incorporating healthy plant-based foods can impact, promote healthy living, and support individuals from wide diverse communities who are self-managing their type 2 diabetes. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. Here are my references.